Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm John. Today, we're talking about parenting tips and family life. This podcast is especially for English learners. We'll keep our language simple and explain any difficult words.
That's right, John. We want to help you improve your English while learning about parenting. Let's start by discussing why this topic is important. Parenting is all about raising children. It's how we teach our kids right from wrong and help them grow up to be good people.
Absolutely, Emily. And family life is all about the time we spend with our loved ones, our family members. It's important to create a happy and healthy environment at home. This helps children feel safe and loved.
Let's start with some basic parenting tips. Tip number 1, spend quality time with your children. Quality time means giving your kids your full attention. This helps them feel valued and important.
That's a great tip, Emily. Spending time with your kids can be simple. You can play a game, read a book, or just talk about their day. These small moments can make a big difference in their lives.
Exactly. Now, let's explain a couple of words. Quality means something that is very good or special. Attention means to listen and watch someone carefully. So, when we say quality time, we mean very good and special time together.
Good explanation, Emily. Our next tip is to set a routine. A routine is a plan that you follow every day. It can include things like meal times, homework time, and bedtime. Having a routine helps children feel secure because they know what to expect.
Yes, routines are very helpful. Let's explain routine. A routine is a set of actions that you do regularly, in the same way each time. For example, brushing your teeth every morning is a routine.
Perfect. Tip number 3. Communicate with your children. Communication is talking and listening to each other. It's important to listen to your kids and understand their feelings. This helps build trust and a strong bond.
Communicate means to share information or feelings with someone, and a bond is a strong connection between people. So, when you communicate well with your children, you build a strong connection with them.
That's right. Another important tip is to teach by example. Children learn a lot by watching their parents. If you want your kids to be polite, you should be polite too. If you want them to be honest, you should always tell the truth.
Example means showing how to do something by doing it yourself. So, teaching by example means showing your children how to behave by behaving that way yourself.
Exactly, and our next tip is to show love and affection. Affection means showing you care about someone. This can be through hugs, kind words, or simply being there for them.
Affection means a gentle feeling of fondness or liking. When you show affection to your children, you make them feel loved and secure.
Great tips, Emily. Now, let's talk about why learning English with this podcast is helpful. By listening to this podcast, you can learn useful vocabulary and practice listening skills. You'll also learn about parenting, which can help you in your family life.
Yes, and we try to explain difficult words to make it easier for you to understand. This way you can learn new words and phrases in context, which means in a real situation.
Context means the situation in which something happens. Learning words in context helps you remember them better.
Let's dive into a few more tips that can make a big difference in your family's happiness.
Absolutely, Emily. Our next tip is to praise and encourage your children. Praise means to say something good about someone. When you praise your kids for their efforts and achievements, it boosts their confidence and motivates them to do even better.
That's right, John. Encourage means to give someone support and confidence. When you encourage your children, you help them believe in themselves and their abilities.
Another important tip is to set boundaries. Boundaries are rules or limits that you set for your children. It's important for kids to know what behavior is acceptable and what is not acceptable. This helps create a respectful and harmonious environment at home.
Boundaries mean limits or rules that show what you can do and what you cannot do. When you set boundaries, you help your children understand what is expected of them.
Next, let's talk about the importance of patience. Parenting can be challenging at times, and it's important to remain calm and patient. Patience means waiting calmly without getting upset. When you're patient with your children, you help them learn and grow without feeling stressed.
Patience means waiting calmly and not getting angry or upset. When you are patient, you show understanding and give time for things to happen.
Absolutely, Emily. And our final tip for today is to be a good role model. Children often mimic the behavior of their parents, so it's important to demonstrate the values and behaviors you want them to adopt. Whether it's being kind, respectful, or responsible, your actions speak louder than words.
Role model means someone who sets a good example for others to follow. When you are a good role model for your children, you show them how to behave and make good choices.
These tips are not just about parenting, they're also about building strong relationships and creating a positive atmosphere at home.
That's right, John. And for our English learners, listening to this podcast can help you understand different ways to communicate and interact with children. You'll also learn useful vocabulary related to family life and parenting.
Learning these skills in English can be especially helpful if you live in an English-speaking country or work in an English-speaking environment.
Exactly. We hope you find these tips valuable and practical. Remember, parenting is a journey filled with learning and growth for both parents and children.
Thank you for tuning in today. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss in future episodes, feel free to reach out to us.
We hope today's podcast has given you practical advice and insights that you can apply in your own family. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to welcoming you back for our next episode.
Thanks for sharing these tips, Emily. We hope our listeners found them helpful. Remember, parenting is a journey, and it's okay to make mistakes and learn along the way.
That's right, John. And for our English learners, we hope you enjoyed learning new words and phrases today. If you liked this podcast, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us.
Yes, and let us know in the comments if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover next time.
We appreciate you listening and hope you'll join us again. In our next episode, we'll be talking about health and wellness tips.